Right, give me a second here. Hey, everybody, this is Cheryl Harris with Cheryl Harris Enterprises, also known as She Knows, your health, wellness, and fitness lifestyle expert or coach who is a former bodybuilder and now stroke survivor turned thriver. And what I'm doing today, I'm just going to interview stroke survivors so they can share their story. Maybe this will impact and inspire you to do better where you are right now. All right. So today I have Brother Kevin Randle with us today. And hey, Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing well. To yourself, Cheryl?
No complaints here. I can't complain. I'm here. We're here. We're alive, right? We
We're
made
live. Yes, ma'am.
it. That's
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
say. So, Kevin, first thing I want to know is how do you and I know each other?
We've been knowing each other. I think when you was here in Chicago, I
Yeah.
don't know if it was stepping, I don't know if it was roller skating, but I used to see you out all the time. That's when you were bodybuilding. There was a guy named Jeff. He would be doing the bodybuilding with you, and I would go to some of his shows, and you would be there. And he
Okay.
introduced me to you then.
Okay. Okay. Who was the
His,
bodybuilding person
his
that you
name
went with?
is Jeff. Jeff. Can't think of his name. He was a real buff guy.
Jeff
Jeff
Guy?
Jeff Carter. I think his
Jeff
last
Carter?
name is Carter.
Okay, because there's a Jeff Guy that I know, Buddy Guy's son.
Okay.
He's real buff and
Yeah.
big time bodybuilder in his own right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So again, I want to go ahead and ask you just a couple of questions and I'll break it down in terms of sections that we're going to do here. So first I'll start out with your personal story. I'll ask you the questions there. Then I'll move on to like your recovery journey and then your support and relationships. Okay. And then life
Okay.
after stroke. So,
That's
okay, just want to break it down in terms of segments that we're going to do this. Uh,
mm-hmm.
and pardon my voice if my speech kind of, skips a little bit.
Yeah, that's your phone. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself before you had the stroke?
Well, before the stroke, I did construction
Okay.
for over 34 years. I used to build houses from the ground up.
Oh, wow.
And then one day, I was feeling real tired and I didn't know what was going on. So I went to work, but I was real sluggish.
Yeah.
But I thought I was just sleepy from the night before because I was staying up working on computers and stuff. So
Yeah.
here Tuesday come, I was still feeling sluggish. I'm like, wow, what's going on? I better go to bed tonight, but I didn't go to bed. I was up drinking, I was up smoking, and it's like, okay. Wednesday, I went to my wife's job. We had an after school program, and
Okay.
I went there and I picked up the kids for the after school. And so I went there to her school to get some group of kids. And I told my wife, I said, I can't make it. I said, I need you to call my mother to have my older brother take me to the hospital. And he
Okay.
took me to the hospital. Well, I drove all the way from 22nd and State Street all the way to 80th and Princeton.
Wow.
Only by the grace of God. I only got there. And I got out the car, I was wobbling, I was crying. He said, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I need to see the doctor. He rushed me over to Little Company Mary. I went
Okay.
to Little Company Mary. I sat by the door because he had to go park. And as he was parking, the nurse heard me talking. And she ran over there. I was sitting in the wheelchair. She ran over there. She said, are you okay? I said, no, I need to see the doctor. I was slurring my speech and everything.
Okay.
And she said, no, we're going to rush you to the back. So before my brother even got in the hospital, they had rushed me in the back. And by the time he came back there, they said, Mr. Randle, you had a stroke on Monday and you having one now.
Oh my
And
goodness.
they paralyzed, when they got me in the room and stuff, it paralyzed my whole right side. Couldn't
Okay.
do nothing, couldn't talk, couldn't do nothing. And so that's the start of the stroke.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And I know exactly what you mean because the day it happened, but for me, I was very fatigued. I was
Okay.
very tired, and I kept dropping everything. Everything that I picked up, my phone, my keys, I kept dropping it out of my left hand. I kept trying to put it in my pocket and it dropped. So I
Mm.
understand about that fatigue part. You're real tired
Yeah.
and you're very emotional at that time. Totally get it. I was on my way into work.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. All
No
right.
problem.
So once what was you just told me you were crying a little bit, you were just tired. What was your initial reaction or emotion state after you had the stroke? After you had the stroke, what was your
I was
initial
like,
reaction?
I'm like, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? I was out every day doing construction, every day up and down the ladder.
Yeah,
I'm like, this can't be me.
yeah,
This ain't none of me. And then I was so, it was like Miss Bobby Lane. I was like, this is happening to me. I'm like, I hear people having a stroke. I always think, well, at first, I always think about older people, or older generation having
absolutely.
stroke. So that's all we heard about having stroke. It was older people. And I'm like, what?
I
And
agree
I
with you.
really get my composure. I was crying all the time. I couldn't stop crying. You know, my family used to came up to the hospital. Like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know. My
Yeah,
wife was trying to get me to talk. I couldn't even really have two good words to say together.
yeah.
So it was like, it was really devastating. It took a whole lot out of me.
Yeah, I concur with you and I can definitely empathize with you. You and I are on the same page with that. Very active, very, able to move around and just do things on your own. And then this happened. I thought the same thing. This only happens to older people, much
Right,
older, much
right.
older. Um, you said now the part that affected you the most was your right side was affected.
And the
You said
right side is affected, yes.
so. Yeah, your right side was flaccid. Are you predominantly right or left?
I'm predominantly right-handed.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
but I had to learn to do everything with my left.
Yep. Now you're ambidextrous. Hey,
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. Yep,
yeah.
I'm with you on that. My left side was impacted, so
Okay.
I definitely understand that. So now I want to ask you, what was the hardest part of your recovery, physically, emotionally, and you know what? It's not just about the physical and the emotional part. It also hits us financially,
Okay.
big time. So, what was the hardest part for your recovery during your recovery journey, physically, emotionally, and financially? What was the hardest part for you?
Well, physically, I wasn't able to go to the bathroom and clean myself and do all that.
Exactly.
So it's like I needed assistance. And one day my wife came up to the hospital. She said, because we had a business, we got a house, we got kids, we
Mm-hmm.
have after school program. And she said, well, babe, she said, I don't mean to be hard, but if they let you go, you're going to have to be able to use the bathroom and do for yourself a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, I cooking that, like go in there, wash up, get yourself cleaned up and stuff, and have to use the bathroom because
Yeah.
you had the stroke. You don't know. Your body is really crazy. It's like, I got to pee. No, I ain't got to pee. No, back and forth.
I'm with you.
I, I was like, okay. I was really worried about that, about going to a nursing home if I didn't get myself together. So what I did, I worked real extra hard to push myself to not bathe, but wash myself up and get
Yeah.
cleaned up all the areas I could. I couldn't do my back, but I would, do all the front and stuff and the behind.
Yeah.
And then that hurt me a lot. And then as far as now not being able to have the money, I used to have money when I was in construction.
Oh,
I
I
used to
know.
nice money home, and then wake up and you don't have no kind of income. I wasn't able to help my wife with the bills or nothing, you know, and it was a real stressful to me as being a man, you know, since I was, you know, helping her to provide. It took a lot out of me, you know. It's like, you know, Lord, what I'm gonna do, and I just turned to Him. I'm like, you have your way. I'm your son. You know, you can work with me the way you need to. And then I surrender to Him then even more so. I'm like, you have control over my life. Whatever your wish is my commandment, in other words. But the only way I think I've made it through this far is through God. Number one, He being the head of my life. That's been number one, you know, because He been there every step of the way. Well, sometimes I feel like I'm tired, I don't feel like going. He keep pushing me, keep motivating me. Or someone might call me, say, come on, Cal, let's walk down the block today. Let's go to the park, walk around the park today. You know, so people in your life is important too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you. I'm with you 150% on all of this.
Okay.
So just so you know, the questions that I'm asking you, I've already interviewed my own self.
Okay.
You know,
right.
I interview my own self and ask myself these questions myself.
Okay.
What are some of the like therapies or treatments or daily practices that you've made that has made a big difference for you during this time?
Well, you know what? When I first get out the hospital, the very next day, they send me to Shirley Ryan. If you ever know anybody have a stroke, Shirley Ryan is a place to go. They will really get you equipped and ready for the next day. In other words, get you, they're prepared, they're a facility that will work with you according to your illness. Like for the stroke, they're going to work with you because you're a stroke patient. You know, you had a limb or some damage, they'll help you with that. But they are strongly helping people with stroke victims. Then after I went there for like 6 months. Then you know how the insurance is. You go 6 months, then they say, okay, you got to go home and do something at home. So then I stayed at home another 3 months. Then I go back to another one. But at that time, I couldn't go back to Shirley Ryan because they moved further from the house. So I had to go to these other little small physical therapy. And they really, really didn't. They just gave you, like I want to say that, they put a little baby cake to you. You know, they not really working with you. They just doing something to get paid. Do that make sense? You know, so but it wasn't what I really needed. But that's what I had to do all that time. But now, now, I've been asking God. I said, God, I need something to get better because in September it'll be 8 years for me, and I'm still weak on my right side. I want to get stronger. It's a lot. I mean, I have improved a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I want to get better than that. You know, I really want to get 100%. I mean, a lot of times the therapist always tell you, well, you won't be getting 100%. Well, I'm not, you're not God.
Come on.
And you just a doctor.
Come on.
And by you being a doctor, you haven't been through a stroke. So you can't tell me that I won't get better. Right. Or what's going to happen.
You better speak.
At this point, now I got with a new clinic. I just started Tuesday. It was a physical therapy place because I moved to Palatine. I don't live in Chicago no more. I moved to Palatine, and they have it's called Ascension Medical Group, and they work hand in hand with Shirley Ryan.
Okay, is that in Palatine as well too?
That's in Schaumburg and Elk Grove.
Okay, in Elk Grove. Okay, and just in case, I want to put all that information into the description, just in case somebody's in Chicago that watches the video with this. I can get all that information from you a little later as well too. Okay. All right. Were there any moments where you felt like you were misunderstood or unsupported at all?
Well, you know what? Basically, to me, the doctors, they want you to listen to them, but they're really not listening to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I do.
Because you try to tell them, okay, well, I want to go right, and you're gonna tell me go left. But I know the right is the best way for me to go. And
Right.
I get that a lot with the doctors, a lot of that. But, you got to have a mind of your own. And then you can't think about doing what you see somebody else doing.
That's
you
right.
have to the point and doing this for yourself. What's going to make you improve?
You got that right.
Well, what's going to make you a better person? Because I see a lot of people like on TikTok, they be trying to tell people, go lift this kind of weight, don't lift this kind of weight. No, you can't. You don't even know how my body is built. How you gonna tell me to lift some weights?
And you don't know what I'm capable of doing.
Exactly. That's my whole point. So I don't even tell people what to do on TikTok. I'm just there to show my recovery.
That's
of what God is doing in me. I'm
Share
not
your
trying
story.
to be your doctor. I'm not trying to be your therapist. I just want to be your friend. I can help you walk through it. Because sometimes you want to get into the depressed state, but I talk myself out of it.
That's right. So, yeah, because you really do have to talk to yourself and have a conversation with yourself. You've seen my channel. You've seen everything that I do. I don't tell nobody to do what I'm doing. I'm doing what I can do, and I'm just sharing my story with you.
Exactly.
I'm doing what I do. First of all, I'm a former bodybuilder, so you know me. I'm gonna make up. Right. I'm gonna do some workouts.
That's right. That's right.
But that's according to what I can do. I always put a disclaimer in all of my videos to let everybody know, hey, look, continue to follow your occupational therapist, your physical therapist, your doctor's instructions, and follow what you know what's best for you. I'm just sharing my story, see if it can inspire you to do better, because I'm not the doctor. And doctors are practitioners anyway. They practice on you. I got one more question to ask you about medication. Were you on a ton of medication in the beginning, and are you on those now?
Exactly. You know what? You were breaking up. What did you say? Am I on a ton of medication, or was I on them already?
Yeah. Were you on a ton of medication, and are you still on them now?
I'll tell you what. When I was a diabetic, I would take a diabetic medicine, but I wasn't taking insulin. I do insulin now.
Okay.
I was on.
Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit.
Pressure medicine.
You on blood pressure medicine?
Yes, I'm on blood pressure, and I'm on high cholesterol. But they say the only reason they still have me on high blood pressure and cholesterol is because of the stroke.
Yeah.
And it really don't add up to me.
I'm with you 150% on that. I'm with you on that.
I don't know how they work together. I'm still doing my homework, and trying to find out how I'll be able to come off this medicine. Because I don't want to take medicine all my life.
Facts. Are you, I'm with you on that, because, and this is my opinion, this is me saying my opinion now. High cholesterol actually is a myth. And let me tell you why. Because I do listen to holistic doctors. I listen to them, I follow them. And because you've never heard anybody die from high cholesterol. Am I correct?
Oh, I never heard that.
You know what they have complications of? The statin drug. The statin drug is the high cholesterol drug. They start having complications with liver, with your kidney, and everything else. That's what causes the implications that's going on is the statin drug, the cholesterol drug.
And take the next left into the parking lot.
So when I go back to my PCP, I'm going to discuss that with them, because I took my cholesterol levels and I can read my levels, and there's a certain amount of levels that your cholesterol is supposed to be as a woman and as a man. You have to know your self. You have to know your research, do your research, be able to explain it to the doctors, because they are designed to medicate and operate.
That's it.
They're
It's
not here
about
to get you
money.
well.
It's
They're
about
not
the
here to
money.
get, that's right. They're not here to get you well. But I'm
That's
not
it.
telling nobody not to do anything. You do what's best for you.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
understand.
continue to do my research, because I was on 10 medications per
Wow.
day.
Parking lot.
Wow.
Are you on blood thinners as well too? I
No,
am.
no, no. No
Really?
blood thinner. I take aspirin every day. I take a baby aspirin every day, but I'm not on no blood thinners.
I'm on blood thinners every day. It's called warfarin.
Wow.
Every day. And they told me that I had to take that for the rest of my life. No, I
Wow.
won't. The devil is a lie. No, I won't.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to make sure I continue to do my research. And because my daughters are called I call my doctors Dr. Daughters.
Okay.
Because they be on me. They don't play
Right.
that. They don't
That's
play
right.
that.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let me make sure I got everything out the way, because I know the time is about to be out shortly. Make sure I got all my questions out the way. So as far as your support, who are your biggest supporters during your recovery? Who are your biggest supporters?
Right now, my kids and my wife.
Amen.
My kids, my wife, and some of the stroke group.
Yeah.
You know, that's real big help. You know, to encourage me. Like I had started a stroke support group.
Okay.
Right after I got out the hospital, and I stopped it for a minute until I moved out. So I still have it now here in Palatine. We go on Zoom every 3 months, you know. So I try to encourage people to come to that. I'll be having doctors on, nurses, I have
Nice.
home care workers and stuff like that, you know.
You got to make sure you provide that information so I can put it out there for other people if they
Okay,
want
I
to be a part of your support group. You can send that to me later and I'll upload it for everybody else to be a part of. That's awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. Thank you so much.
That is awesome. And what has been your perspective now on life since the stroke?
For one, I see when a person is like disabled, how other people treat you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a person will have a special challenge or needs or something. They treat people different. When you're sick with this disease that we're going through this stroke, people don't care if you're sick. I went in the grocery store one day and I couldn't bend down to get a bag of chips that was at the bottom of the shelf.
Yeah.
And I asked the little girl, she must have been about 10 or 12. She was getting her some chips. I said, can you give me that bag? And I was just asking her because I couldn't reach down there.
Yeah.
And her father came over there. He was cursing her. You don't want to do nothing for the man. I said, sorry. I said, sir, I'm so sorry. I just had a stroke. I'm just asking her what she doing. I'm like, can I give her $1 just for helping me? Don't give my daughter nothing, you know. And people are just so mean.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you even have your family members are so mean. You know, you think they're there in your corner. They're not there.
I agree with you 150%.
You know, it took for me to have the 2 strokes to know who's in my corner.
I'm with you 150%.
You know, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I really do. You know I do.
Okay, yeah.
You know I do.
I strive every day to try to do right or to be right to someone, you know, because I know it's going to come back to me, you know. You got to treat people the way you want to be treated. Mama used to say that statement all the time. And we didn't know what Mama used to be talking about. They say, well, just keep living.
Just keep living. My mama said that all the time. Keep living.
Just keep living.
That's their famous line. Keep living.
That's it. That's it. Because you'll know everything about you. Just keep living. You know? Yep. And that's just...
What is a daily routine for you? Like when you get up in the morning, what do you do? What's the daily routine looks like now?
Well, I love going to therapy. I know therapy is really helping me out. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't want to say lazy, but when you first come out of it, that's all you want to do is sleep and rest.
Yep.
You know, that's all you want to do. And that's all you think you should be doing because you're sick.
Yeah.
But I like to just go and work out.
Yeah.
Give me therapy if I can get like an hour therapy in. But this therapy I'm in now, I do 3 hours a day for 3 days a week. It's intense. They tell you it's an intense therapy. Yeah. And they don't tell nobody about this therapy. And
they putting you putting in the work. You putting in the work. That's what matters. I'm putting the
work in now. I was so tired yesterday. The guy had me like put my back against the wall and kind of kneel down like in a squat position.
Yeah.
It was messing with my what you call them, the hamstring, right in the muscles, right by your thighs and your thighs. Yeah. And it was hurting so bad. I was like, I can't do it. And my legs just shaking because I was tired. The guy said, okay, come on, rest for a couple of minutes because we got 2 more sets to go.
Yeah, couple of minutes because we got to get right back to it. You know, that's my kind of
language. Right back on it. Get right back to it. And I was like, man, y'all are torturing me. But I had to think about it. I said, you all are helping me.
Yeah.
Which they're doing that, so I love that.
That's
so
good.
I got to wait tomorrow. So I go back tomorrow.
That's awesome. Are there any things that you're doing now, like hobbies and practices and routines that you never did before?
No, I'm riding that scooter. That's the only thing I'm doing, riding scooter. But
you riding a scooter?
I'm on the scooter because I still can't walk. I'm talking about the handicap scooter.
Yeah. Okay.
But I ride there because I can't walk that long. Then try to come all the way back. I'd rather go in the grocery store with the wife on my scooter, put what I need in my little basket, and help her shop or whatever.
There you go. Okay.
It's nothing. I mean, what I really want to go back doing, though, I really want to go back stepping and roller skating. That was my 2 favorite things to do.
There you go. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing.
I'm determined to get back.
I love me some stepping. I miss those days. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes. I'm gonna send you a couple of videos that I'm stepping. I got them on in my profile too.
Yeah, send them to me.
Okay.
Send them to me. I would definitely love to see that. So I got 10 minutes left on this, and then I'm gonna let you go and handle your business with your wife, with the lovely queen. And
I'm in the store. I'm in the car.
What would you say to your early days before having a stroke? What would you say to yourself in the early days of your stroke recovery? What would you say to yourself during that time?
People have to really watch what you eat. That's number one. The number one thing that we're doing as being black, white, or whatever. You know, we grew up eating everything. We didn't have no one to say, okay, we're not going to eat this. Well, the parent, that's what you ate. And so, you know, you were at a point that you didn't have no other choice if you wanted to eat. But we have to watch our diet.
Yes.
We have to watch our association. We just have to watch a lot of things going on. Because
that's right.
I didn't like people being around me no way. So I was a loner. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
believe it or not, although I'm a bodybuilder, I like being with myself as well too. I like my company.
That's it.
I like my company.
That's it.
And how long are you post-stroke right now?
September the 24th, it'll be 8 years.
My goodness. My goodness. Look at you.
Look, now, yesterday I had my stroke group. It was a woman on there. She been a stroke victim for 20 years and she have not got back. I wish you could hear it. I'm gonna see if I can send you that. Cause I recorded it on Zoom.
Yeah.
Last night, and you hear her story that she's still trying to fight back to get back. After 20 years. 20 everybody years. Crying about it. It's been 2 years. This woman yesterday, she had tears in my eyes.
20 years. And
Yeah.
I got people inboxing me. It's been 6 months. It's been 9 months. Child, you got a long way to go.
Because you know what? You don't never know when you're going to get healed.
You don't. You don't.
Because
You
I
just got to
tell
do your part.
everybody, do your part. I tell everybody, this is how I describe it to everybody. I say, we are like a hamburger. We are done on the outside, but we still raw in the middle.
Sure
And
enough,
that's just like a hamburger cook. It could be brown as a can on the outside, but on the inside it's red as hell because it's not done.
It's not done.
It's not
I agree
done.
with you. I totally agree with you on that. Thank you for sharing your story with me. I totally agree with you on that.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to upload this and we're going to get things going. And I appreciate you. Do you have a mantra or anything that you say to yourself to keep you going, that keeps you going? Do you have a mantra?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me.
Let's go. That's what it is.
In Philippians, I can do all things.
Come on with it. We can do everything, all things. We just can do it all at one time, but we can do all things.
We can do all things. And when he got our back, we can do even more than all of them.
Even more. Even more.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Okay, Trey.
Appreciate you sharing that with me. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. And I'm going to put this out there. Whatever you can send me that I can add to the interview, we can go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Have a great day, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.